Hey everybody, welcome to eTrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Yakima JayLow J-Style Kayak Carrier on our 2020 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. Now, as you can see, this is going to be a great way of getting a single or two kayaks up on our roof. Now, why that is, the JayLow has a unique position to where we can actually put a second kayak right behind it. Now, if you're only hauling one kayak, you do have an 80-pound capacity limit on this kayak. However, if you're going for two, you can fit about 110 pounds since we're not putting a lot of that weight on the cradle itself. So makes it very versatile if we bring another person with us. However, if we primarily bring one kayak along, it is going to do a great job of getting us there. So taking a look, you can see we do have some straps here. I actually do kind of like at least these middle strap portions for this guy. You can see this rubber doing a good job of surrounding that cam buckle. So that way, A, we're not damaging our kayak as we have it tightened on here. You can see you're gonna be getting it good padding, not gonna have any kind of friction on the paint or the fibers themselves that are actually making up our kayak. And take a look too, you can see getting ample coverage, getting a lot of strap too. So I definitely don't think we're gonna have too much issue fitting any of our kayaks on here. Now we do have some bow and stern straps that are included, so let's go ahead and take a quick look at how those guys are actually hooked in here. Now, a great thing with this kayak carrier too, as already mentioned, you're getting two of those kayaks up in there. However, I think it's one of the more stylish ones, especially that we have to offer. Yakima always looks pretty good. They do a pretty good job with the recreational stuff. Kind of always up to par, kind of the standard across the industry, I would almost say. And taking a look at the inside here. Now, normally this does just come with this metal S hook, and normally you have to find a kind of frame contact point on either the inside of your hood here, or going all the way as to go into the front here. Maybe you have a front hitch or a frame element we can hook up to. However, I always like picking up the eTrailer anchor kits for this as well. The anchor tie downs, as you're going to see, if I can find this latch. Now, what's great about this, you can pick up the entire kayak trailer kit with the strap kit, and those do come with some upgraded cam buckles. However, for what you're getting on this guy, I think the straps do a pretty good job. I would just recommend picking up the dog bone out of it, commonly referred to as this guy. So you can see it's just a padded anchor. As we get this hood drop down there, it's just gonna give us a nice little contact point. Now, the only thing with these guys, make sure that we're not putting it where we maybe have a fan up front or anything that's gonna get too hot. Just somewhere this can actually hook in, and our hood's gonna create a nice little contact point. As this pulls up, you can see we're gonna get a really good contact. So makes that ease of not having to find that frame that much nicer for us. And of course, we do have that replicated on the other side. So those bow and stern, very important to stabilize our kayak. We don't want that tilting as much. That will start weakening our straps and that tension here. So anything we can do to make this nice and secure, it's gonna make for a nice smooth ride as we get down the road. Well, we already have most of our straps off, but I want to give you guys a quick look at just how we can take this last one off. On the inside here, we do just have a lever that we want to kind of press up on. As you can see, open up that teeth, allowing this to slide out like so. Let me go ahead and take out the rest of our strap. And this is going to be freeing our kayak from our carrier, as you can see. Pulling this arm around. And I always like to get underneath this roof rack itself just to give us another contact point. And now on the other side here, that's actually just looped through the top of that J-Style, kind of going through and back up and around the kayak, as you can see, and tying down. That way, that strap's gonna be pushing that cradle, or I'm sorry, the kayak up against that cradle, making good contact, not taking away any of that elements at all. Kind of get that nice and secured like so. And then also too, I like walking it around, just getting it set on the other side. And then two here, it's really easy to go ahead and just step up on here to take this down like so. Again, as you can see, we'd be throwing this guy across, just to give you guys a quick look. Toss that guy across, taking our loop like so. And then throwing this excess across like that. It's gonna be doing a good job, making sure that's nice and complete. So go ahead and take that off all the way, like so. And let's go ahead and continue our dismount of that kayak real quick. And now a great thing about this guy too, guys, what I like about it is these loading blocks, as we already shown before. They can be doing a really good job of actually hanging on here. As you can see, we're actually gonna go ahead and utilize that just to get us a little bit of support. So what we wanna do, kind of take this guy like so, get it set on there. You can see we can actually utilize that to kind of slide it into our hands. And here we are, ready to walk it off. You can see how if I wanted to get it on there, it'd be nice and easy for me to find those loading blocks and start pushing it up and on. For today, we're gonna continue our dismount here. And just like that, we're ready to kayak. Taking a look at the cradles themselves, I wanted to give you guys a couple dimensions really quick. In its J-style position, from the top of our roof rack to the very top is about 18 inches to the top. From our roof to the top is 22 inches. And in our post position, from the top of our roof rack, we're at 19 inches. And from the top of our roof of our vehicle, we're at 23 1/4 inches. So definitely a little bit of height there, especially in that post position. But as we just saw, this lever system makes it really easy to walk this off. What's kind of nice about this too, it does have a set J-style position like so, won't go further back. So you know it'll only collapse down forward. That collapse is very, very easy to use, as you can see. And now our highest point is actually these 2 points of contact. So from the top of our roof rack to the top of here is about 3 3/4 inches to the top from our roof rack, and from our roof is going to be about 8.5, just under 8.5 inches to the top here from our roof. So definitely nothing too crazy in that height, especially with that collapsible feature. I don't think we're going to have any issues getting this in the garage or maybe those drive-throughs that we're going through. However, it is very nice that we can collapse that down. And the installation itself is also extremely easy. So we'll break that down just here in a second once I get my bearings. Taking a look at the pads themselves, you can see we do have a nice rubber pad here. I think it's actually doing a very, very good job. And also at the top here, we do have these rubber kind of foams at the top. I really like these. They're very smooth. I don't think we're gonna have any issues with it tearing. Obviously no friction on our kayak, so I think our paint's gonna be doing A-okay with that guy. And I do like how much padding it actually gives. I think it does a pretty good job out of the kayak carriers I've seen. I think it's one of the higher, I want to say on the higher end of actually doing a good job of protecting our kayak. It's on there. And I like the grooves on here too, just making sure that our kayak's going to sit there perfectly, not going to have too many issues. As we saw earlier, we do have this loading pad on the front here. I do like this. It makes loading it up that much easier and dismounting it a lot less strenuous on us, as we can actually put most of the weight on here, slide it up or down as we go. And as we mentioned, that installation, very, very easy to use. You can see on the bottom in here, we have a pretty malleable kind of lip on either side of these guys. I really like them. All they do is on the right side here in the knob, a little hard to see, is actually gonna go ahead and loosen that out. You can see me kind of pulling that as I loosen this. And you can see this is gonna fit most of our bars. Obviously our aero bars, as you see today, are square, are round in our factory. I think those round bars though, they do actually have an included adapter to make that way easier to actually clamp onto those round bars. That knob, extremely easy to use on the side too. And something I like about it, a lot of them you have to kind of like get up underneath and you're like kind of fighting gravity to actually get them on there. So this being on the side mount here makes it extremely easy, especially if we're cold and rainy or just wet from being out, you know, on the river or on the lake, wherever we are. This having it on the side, especially with how wide it is, extremely easy to use. So I really like that. Another great thing about it too is that Yakima does have a locking cord feature here. Now it isn't locked innately right out of the box. However, you can pick up locking cords for this. And what's great about it too, if you have any other Yakima products, you can get them key to like utilizing their same key system. So I think it really shines about being able to actually lock this to our roof rack is always a great feature, just to make sure that our kayak carriers stay in there once we are out on the lake. Well, I think that about does it for a look at the Yakima JayLow J-Style Kayak Carrier on our 2020 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.